one of the first communities visited during the time we commenced office. It was the visit to Mount Sinai. And so we continue reaching out to the people of New Amsterdam this morning. So without further ado, as we continue our commitment, I will now welcome to you Minister Susan Rodriguez, as she will welcome you and give you her word regarding today's proceedings. Put your hands together for her.
Thank you very much. Good morning, New Amsterdam. Good morning. Oh, I love that. Good morning, New Amsterdam. I want to hear it again. All right, His Excellency, colleague ministers, regional chairman, vice chairman, heads of agencies, regional officials, everybody who's here, REO. It's a pleasure to be joining His Excellency over the next 2 days, today and tomorrow, here in region number 6. One of the most fantastic regions, would you agree? It's been a remarkable almost 5 years serving the people of Guyana, serving this region. I'm truly honored to have been serving over this period and serving under the leadership of His Excellency President Ali. We have been strategic, as our youngsters have said. We came to you in 2020 and even before with a vision that we presented for this country. We have always been working, this party, the People's Progressive Party Civic, whether we are in government or whether we were out of government, we have been working and advocating for the advancement of the people of Guyana. We are not fair weather friends. We have always stood by the people, whether it is in the struggle for their economic enhancement, whether it's the struggle for democracy, wherever that struggle exists, we will be there to stand with you. You know you can always rely on the People's Progressive Party Civic to stand with you. We have had tremendous progress over the last 5 years. I'll try to stick to the housing sector because I know we have a few ministers here, and of course you are going to enjoy the presentation from His Excellency. After 5 years of stagnation and neglect in the housing sector, after the ministry was disbanded and we saw no progress in the enhancement in the housing sector, in the water sector, we finally came back into office in 2020. We reinstated the Ministry of Housing and Water, and we made some bold commitments in both of those sectors. And I am pleased and very proud as I stand before you here today to say that we have fulfilled all of the commitments that we made in the housing and water sector. We take that very seriously. Our word is our bond, and you have seen the tremendous progress in the housing and water sectors. And it is very pervasive here in Region 6. When you look at the development that is ongoing at Palmyra, you see the new housing areas, the 5 housing areas that were created at number 75, number 79, Hampshire, Williamsburg, Ordnance, Fortlands, Molson Creek, the more recent one. In this region alone, in Region 6, we have distributed over 2,200 house lots in the last 5 years. We have completed the construction of 200 low-income houses, and we have ongoing another 100 houses at the new development at Palmyra, which is a 3-bedroom bungalow home. It's beautiful, it's spacious, and that will be completed very, very shortly for the people of Region 6. We've distributed over 133 steel and cement subsidy, which was an initiative introduced by His Excellency to help people on the road to home ownership. Because We have gone beyond just the distribution of house lots. We want Guyanese to own assets. We want you to own your own home. We want you to be your own boss. We want you to take control of your financial future. And so we have unlocked this housing sector to be able to empower you to do that, to take control of your future, and to put your family on a path that will forever change their lives, especially for your children and the future generations. And this is how you build real generational wealth. We understand that the housing sector is a great equalizing factor, and that's why, not only in the last 5 years, but throughout the period that the People's Progressive Party Civic has been in office, they have understood the importance of the housing sector to transform the lives of individual people and for families, and that's why the housing sector has always featured very prominent in all of the plans and programs of the government. And of course, one of the most magnificent housing ministers ever was the president when he served in that ministry. So I'm going to wrap up now because I know we have a number of speakers, but you know, it's always difficult because there's so much that was accomplished in the last 5 years that we can speak for hours on housing, on water, on health, on education. So I thank you for your warm welcome this morning, and we look forward to an amazing 2 days in Region 6, meeting our people, engaging you, hearing from you. So I introduce my colleague now, the Honorable Bishop Edghill, to give some remarks.
Thank you very much, Minister Rodriguez, His Excellency, and my cabinet colleagues and regional officials, and all the other persons gathered here. I know we're all in a good mood. Are we going to keep that good mood? Isn't that right? But I'm in a better mood than you. Because coming to New Amsterdam and seeing this speaks to what is happening in Guyana at this particular time. Coming to New Amsterdam on a Saturday morning and seeing my brothers and sisters in their numbers and knowing some of you, it is testimony to President Irfan's Ali One Guyana approach and bringing development to Guyana without discrimination, any form of discrimination. And I want to challenge you, take pictures and post so that the haters and the people who like to say, but friends, family, and favorites could see how the PPP see friends, families, and favorites in New Amsterdam is growing. But just a report card to let you know what has been happening. Last year, 2024, we did 621 projects in Berbice. And Mr. President, many of those persons were small people from the various areas who got contracted work for the very first time. And the good news is that it didn't stop. Because with the President's instructions, we'll be back here before Wednesday. And we'll be signing another 409 contracts to continue infrastructural development in the Berbice area. For the first time in for the first time in the history of New Amsterdam, last December, we did a thorough desilting of all the drains, alleyways, and canals in the township of New Amsterdam to prevent flooding. And you know what? That work was done by you, the people. And that is why I'm so happy to be here today. We're happy under the PPPC. And while I'm talking about this, Minister Susan Rodriguez told you about the developments at Palmyra. And I would like to report to you that the contracts for the building out of the road from Palmyra all the way to Molson Creek has already been awarded. We have contracts that are ongoing, and we have to up the tempo where that is concerned. The 99 structures, bridges and culverts are already under construction. And while we are here in New Amsterdam, we could tell our brothers a little down at Mara. You will recall the president himself went in there and initiated work to improve the lives of people of Mara. We have advanced that road, both going in and coming out. So we're doing that simultaneously together, and Mara is seeing the kind of improvements. What are we saying? Berbice is becoming the next economic growth pool in this country, Berbice. And the president has been doing a fantastic job in outlining what needs to be done. So today, just highlighting that, I want to say it's a privilege that I've had as the Minister of Public Works to work with all of you. And our commitment is we will continue to work with you in 2025. And because of that, you will give us, by giving the president a second term, the mandate to continue to work with you to ensure that everywhere there is infrastructural development. So, thank you for your support. Thank you for your hard work. But all of us now have to join the fight. Report progress and development. We must see more reports of progress and development than the gripers who want to criticize us every day. It's not so. So we can no longer be silent. You know, just like how people used to put up the road, we got a big hole, the truck torn over and so on. Now you put up a new road that is built in your community and say it's the PPPC. Just like how we used to put up, and some people will come and say, look, here got a little pipe that is broken. I want you to show them the improvement. So all of us, we have to build on the ground, but we also have to build in the media so that people who want to criticize must be outnumbered by the positive messages that are coming out from the people of Berbice. And that's all I want to say at this time. Thank you very much, and God bless you. And I now ask my cabinet colleague, who is a Berbician, and who is always here in Berbice with you, and a lot of what we've been doing is because of his representation and the representation of Minister Singh, agitating for the development in Berbice, the Honorable Zulfikar Mustafa, Minister of Agriculture.
Thank you very much, Minister Edghill, Your Excellency, President Dr. Mohammed Irfan Ali, Cabinet colleagues, citizens of New Amsterdam, good morning. Let me hear you. Well, today is a record-breaking day for New Amsterdam. I can remember before the last local government elections, we had 3 councillors in the New Amsterdam Town Council from the People's Progressive Party civic side. Today, we have 6 and they have 7. And that tells us a story. That tells us a story that New Amsterdam now is embracing the People's Progressive Party civic. And at the next election, we will take this town, and the People's Progressive Party will be governing this town. Comrades, 5 years, or my colleague Susan said, just over 4 years ago, we came to the people of our country. We listened to your views. We listened to your proposal. We listened what you wanted at that time. And we went back and we sat down and we crafted a manifesto. We crafted a manifesto that we can deliver on. And if you disbelieve me today, you go online and check our manifesto, we have delivered on all the commitment we have made when we went to the electorate. Every single commitment we have delivered on. And you can go back and check, because when we make a promise, we are very serious with all the promises that we have made. That is why we can able to deliver on those commitments. So when you look in Region 6 today, you heard about housing, you heard about public works. When you look at the entire system in Region 6, we are seeing a total transformation taking place. Region 6 is being modernized. We have seen hundreds or thousands of roads being built by public works, a number of housing schemes going up, but when you look at the agriculture sector, our country and your region is booming. Your region is one of the most productive regions today in our country. We have seen a total transformation of the D&I system. Minister Bishop just spoke about how much money they expended to do the work in New Amsterdam in the interlocking drains. I want to tell you that in NDIA, the tender has just closed for $70 million to be expended in New Amsterdam to clean out all the interlocking drains. And those contracts will be going to the people of New Amsterdam. So ladies and gentlemen, there are a lot of things we can talk about. And what I am proud of, I am proud to be part of His Excellency Cabinet. We have a president who is young, who is energetic, who is passionate, who wants to see development take place. And under his leadership, Guyana is transforming rapidly. Guyana is today the envy of the world. Today, the entire CARICOM, they are looking towards Guyana for that leadership. And because of the leadership of our president, not only in our country, but further afield. And all of us should be proud of this young, vibrant, and energetic president that we have. We not got a president who just put out a cardboard and you got to go aside and him and stand up. We got a real president. A president in human hair. You can come and chat with him. You can come and feel him. You can come and talk to him. You can bring your complaint to him. And he will listen to you. That is the kind of the difference between us and them. Between us and them. And when you look what is happening in Region 6, the economic opportunities is tremendous now. We have created a number of opportunities for people who never had opportunities. For example, in the elections campaign, we said we will reopen Rosal Estate. Today, Rosal Estate is a vibrant estate under the People's Progressive Party once again. We have rehabilitated the entire D&I structure in the East Bank, an area that has been producing a lot of agricultural produce for us here in New Amsterdam. The entire D&I system. We are now, and let me tell you something, there are people who want to derail progress. The president came to New Amsterdam, made a commitment that within a month, the NDI will install 2 new brand new mobile pumps. The pumps were installed. The pumps are there today. He also committed that we will rehabilitate the sluices. And when we awarded the contract to go to rehabilitate the sluices, the New Amsterdam Town Council is putting a block to that project. But we will continue to and ensure that that project goes on. I've asked the NDIA to inform the contractor to carry on with that project. That's a commitment from His Excellency, the President of our country. So ladies and gentlemen, I know you are patiently awaiting the presentation by our President. I want to tell you as a Berbician, I know for a fact that Region 6 will ensure that President Irfan Ali and the People's Progressive Party be given another term to continue the modernization of our country. With that said, I want to introduce my colleague, Comrade Ashley Singh, to make his remarks.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Minister Mustafa and the Executive Secretary of the People's Progressive Party. Your Excellency, President Ali, allow me to take off my cabinet hat and to put on my Berbice hat and welcome you to Region 6. Mr. President, it is not an accident that so many people from New Amsterdam have braved the rains today and have come out to show their love for you. It's not an accident. And I say that, Mr. President, because perhaps more than anybody else in Guyana, everybody knows this, but perhaps more than anybody else in Guyana, the people of Region 6 understand the difference between the People's Progressive Party and APNU AFC and APNU AFC's surrogates and puppets. Mr. President, it is Region 6 that bore the brunt of APNU's vindictiveness during 2015 to 2020. We heard from Minister Mustafa about the closure of the sugar estates. And we know about the abandonment of rice when we were told rice is private business. We know when no investments were made in drainage and irrigation. But those things did not only affect sugar workers or rice farmers or cash crop farmers. Because, Mr. President, as you know, and as the leadership of the People's Progressive Party know and understand to our very core, when the sugar workers earn their wages, when the rice farmers sell their paddy, when the cash crop farmers sell their produce, where is that money spent but in the markets and in the shops in centers like New Amsterdam? And during 2015 to 2020, the people of New Amsterdam saw how their town came to a grinding halt because there was no money circulating in the Region 6 economy. They bore the brunt of that pain. And they heard the People's Progressive Party under your leadership, Mr. President, articulate a vision for when we return to office. And from the very first day that you assumed the presidency, Mr. President, from the 2nd of August 2020, the people of Region 6 have seen the impact of your leadership. There is a long list of achievements that I can call out, starting from Molson Creek, coming all the way down to New Amsterdam and going all the way down to the East Bank of Berbice. There's a long list of achievements. In every, starting from Oriala, in fact, in every single community and in every single sector. I'm not going to go all the way, Mr. President, to Oriala or to Molson Creek or even to Port Morant. If we start only from around Palmyra area and come down here, the impact of President Ali's vision and his leadership is visible for all to see. Go to Palmyra, and you see right now, not an idea, not a plan, not a study, not a proposal. You see the results of action. Go to Palmyra and you see right now Guyana's second world-class stadium being built right here in Berbice. And so, my fellow Berbicians, while you used to load up your car or your bus and go to Providence to watch 2020 cricket, very soon, the people from the rest of Guyana, our Guyanese brothers and sisters from the rest of Guyana, will be loading up their buses and their cars and will be coming to Palmyra to watch cricket in Region 6. If you look around Palmyra, all of the major developments that President Ali has announced, the development of a major industrial and commercial center right there, which will include international hotels, a major new housing area that Minister Rodriguez just mentioned. You come into New Amsterdam, a brand new synthetic track is being built. You can see it. We're not talking about it. You can see it. a brand new hospital, a world-class hospital is being built right here in New Amsterdam. A brand new nursing school is being built right here in New Amsterdam so that the young people of Berbice can train and become nurses. And I can go on through every single sector. Right here in New Amsterdam, if you look at the roads that are being built, in every single community, whether it is Angois Avenue or Glasgow Housing Scheme, every single road is being resurfaced and new concrete roads are being built where they never existed before. You go to Tannery, what used to be a mud dam is now being converted into a concrete road. And that story is repeated in every single sector, whether it is education, health, housing and water, solid waste management, culture, youth, young people, and in every community. I haven't even gone to Port Morant and spoken about the training opportunities that we're building there, the Oil and Gas Institute right here in Region 6. And so, Mr. President, I want to say definitively to you, Mr. President, I want to say definitively to you, Mr. President, that the people of Region 6 are seeing and feeling the tremendous impact of your remarkable vision for our region and for Guyana. Today, more people in Region 6 are working, more people are studying, more people are investing, more people are getting jobs. And Mr. President, I haven't started to speak about the vision because I know you're going to speak about the vision. And that vision, I'm only going to give you a little taste. You can start from the Quarantine River, which is the eastern boundary of Region 6, and we're working with our Surinamese counterparts to bridge the Quarantine River. And that bridge will be constructed during President Ali's next term. And you can come all the way down to the Berbice River at the western end of Region 6. And we will be building a brand new bridge across the Berbice River. And I'm only giving you a little flavor because President Ali is coming after me. So, Mr. President, I want to say to you that the people of Region 6 love you. They are... Show your love for President Ali. The people of Region 6 love you, Mr. President. We love you and we thank you and we thank you. We thank you for your remarkable vision for Guyana and for Region 6, and we support you fully, and we're looking forward to you returning to government with a much larger majority in 2025. Thank you very much.
Yes. Yes. To predict a future, we must create it. So I urge all of you to encourage your neighbors to invest in this government. Yeah. The true wealth of a nation lies not in our gold or silver, but in our learning. His Excellency has recognized this and has invested and developed the Gold Scholarship Program and has allowed free attendance to the University of Guyana. If this is not testimony and commitment, I don't know what else is. Now I hand you over to His Excellency, the most brilliant young individual, to come up here.
Thank you. Thank you, please. Thank you very much. Please have your seats. Thank you so much. I receive your love on behalf of the People's Progressive Party Civic. In every successful movement, there must be a team that drives that movement. And I am very pleased that I am part of a team and that I lead a team in cabinet and across all the regions of this country. A team that is committed, hardworking, selfless, and relentless in their dedication to the upliftment of the lives of every single Guyanese. I want to recognize all the hard workers in the party, here locally, at the regional level, here in the community of New Amsterdam, many of the new comrades, many of the leaders here who have embraced us and are working continuously, the business community, the public servants, and all those who work tremendously hard to ensure that we are successful in delivering the programs of the government. And I want to start by saying that whilst we recognize the tremendous successes that we have achieved as a government and as a people, we also are aware that the journey is still ahead of us. We are aware that there are challenges that we must still overcome. We are aware that there are difficulties that we must still overcome. We are aware that there are weaknesses that there still must be strengthened. But we are also acutely aware that we have delivered above and beyond our commitment in the manifesto. And I want to start by saying to you one important fact. We take sometimes that X that we place beside the party of our choice lightly. But that simple task of marking that X is you placing your dignity and honor in that X. And why do I say this? As citizens of this country, you place that X and support that political party and support that president because you are putting your children's future in their hands. You're putting your grandchildren's future in their hands. You're putting your parents' future in their hands. You're putting your community future in their hands. And you're putting your country future in their hands. You're therefore, in placing that X, trusting that political entity, trusting that president to fulfill what they say they will do. Because with your dignity, honor, and pride, you're trusting them to do what they say they will do. And let me say this. So that is where I want to start. If this trust is a representation of your dignity, then you must evaluate who you can trust and where you place your trust. And we will not go to the 33 years the PNC, APNU, AFC, and other forces were in government. Let's take the most recent example. And let's take Region 6. They came to you, and many, we must be honest, many fell for the false promise when they said they will expand sugar. Instead, what did they do? When they said that they will almost remove the Berbice toll, what did they do? When they said that the rice farmers will get $9,000 per bag, what did they do? When they said they will double old age pension, what did they do? When they say that they will double the Because We Care grant, what did they do? When they said they will remove VAT, what did they do? More than 200 new taxes. Point to me a single new project that was created. A single new secondary school. A single completely new housing scheme that was developed under that government. Because these are important questions. These are very, very serious questions that we must ask. Compare that to the last 4 years. 4 years. We ain't finished 5 yet. And look at what we have done. We have achieved everything and have exceeded all our promises and commitments. But more importantly, and young people should understand this, I come back to trust, honor, and dignity. When the people of this country place their trust, honor, and dignity in the People's Progressive Party Civic in 2020, and for 5 months, they had to wait for the APNU, AFC, and other forces to respect the honor and dignity of that vote. These are the never-changing faces and philosophy of the opposition. And today, again, they will come with all the promises, all the lies. All the promises and all the lies. But your consciousness must be your guide. All the noise we make here today and all the applause must be translated into our consciousness. Must be translated in our ability to tell the story and to educate others. Because this is serious business. Your future and the future of this country and your region is serious business. This is not things that we must gamble with. We are not seasonal in the floods and everything we've accomplished. We have accomplished with 2 years of COVID, 2 major floods, and a long drought season. And every time you needed us, we were there. Whether it was to cuss us or praise us, we were there because we are always there. We are not seasonal. We are not seasonal. We are your friends in the rainy days and the sunshine. We are your friends every single day of the year. And we also honor your friendship and your love. Many faces here today, and we stand in this country and in this region on the shoulders of those before us, on those who sacrifice and work hard to bring us where we are today. We stand on their shoulders. But in opposition, I see Pearl here, for example. She made her facilities open to us so that we could have communicated to the people. So we recognize too, not only what we are doing, but the love of the people. The love of the people is what gives us energy to go forward and move forward stronger. And as I have said, we have exceeded all the promise in the manifesto. In the last 72 hours, I have announced 3 additional initiatives. And by the way, when they closed the sugar industry, I was leading the discussions on behalf of the People's Progressive Party Civic. And Zulfi was there with me, and I asked them to point to the socioeconomic study that justified the closing of the estate, because they did not understand that the estate was much more than the workers. The estate were critically integrated into the life of the society. And they said to me, we don't need to do that. They did not need a socioeconomic study to send tens of thousands of families to the breadline because there were people directly and indirectly who were affected. In Wales, the entire market was shut down. Hundreds of vendors and farmers. They did not need a socioeconomic study for sending tens of thousands of families to the breadline. But when I announced the removal of the tolls from August the 1st at all the bridge, including the Berbice Bridge, you know what the leadership of the APNUASC and their associates asked for? Where is the socioeconomic study that the president did to remove that toll? Well, let me be very clear. We do not need a socioeconomic study to give to the people, to make things better for the people, to improve disposable income, and to enhance your life and livelihood. In the last 72 hours, I've announced 3 extraordinary initiatives, 2 of which is taking the region by storm. The first one is that we are now paying completely all the fees for every single child for 8 subject CXC. All the fees, not a subsidy, all the fees. For every single child in the private and public school. And we went a step further, and we have said that we are also going to pay the fees for all our CAPE students for up to 8 subjects. And this is coming off of the back of free university education that I announced late last year that we implemented. And then we went further when we announced that in our community engagement, one of the first such engagement was here in Berbice, tree engagement. And one of the main issues that came up in those engagements was that there were so many contributors to NIS who did not meet the 750 contribution. Many of them were between 500 to 749. 25,000 such persons. And what did we do? We listened to you, and we said that we are going to find a formula that would at least, we were going to find a formula that would at least ensure that you get something for your investment. And we announced that $10 billion will be transferred to NIS to give a one-off grant to all of these pensioners who made a contribution. I've also given instructions, for example, and let me go to the third one, which I announced only last night. In addition to the almost $3 billion, well, it's more, that is what we have transferred, to ensure that the rice farmers get $4,000 per bag when the international market prices would have collapsed. You just go and research what is happening globally with the farmers. They're dumping the rice. Here, we have given a subsidy to ensure you get the $4,000 per bag. But we want you to ensure, we also wanted to ensure that we support you back in the new crop. And we support all our other farmers. So last night, I've announced a further $2 billion of support for our farmers. And for every acre of land, they will get 1 bag of fertilizer. That is $2 billion now transferred in fertilizer support to our farmers. And let me give you another example. When we were campaigning, we said we want people to retire in dignity. We want people to retire in dignity. Look at what we have done for our nurses, our doctors, our police, and every single category of officers. But when you look, for example, today at the new police stations we're building, the new facilities, implementing technology to help them in their work. And what have we done? One of the complaints was the subjective nature through which the police career evolved. And I said that no police officer, once you have a clean record and you would have served at least 22 years, you can be assured that you will retire at no less than that of an inspector, which means your new pension will be calculated at the level of an inspector. Thousands of persons will benefit from this. And what does this mean? Let me give you, for example, an A-grade teacher. An A-grade teacher retiring today would have a pension upon a retirement of more than $200,000. But importantly, by the time they get to 60, using today's, it will increase, but I'm using today's number, they'll have a further $160,000 NIS. And by the time they get to 65, using today's number, they will have another $41,000 in old age pension. So when you calculate, by the time that person gets to 65, they will be working, they will be earning a pension that almost doubles or is a time and a half the salary they were receiving when they were working. That is retirement in dignity. And that is what is going to be translated into every single category. When we talk about sugar, we are now looking at coming up with a strategy through which we can make our sugar workers part of the ownership mechanism of what they do. So not only we'll have sugar workers going into the fields and harvesting the cane, but how we can invest in the machinery and equipment that they can form themselves into group and be part of the ownership structure of that group so that we can improve the conditions that they're working and they can get higher salaries, increase productivity, and take home more disposable income because they are part of what they're doing. And these are the things that is occupying our minds. These are the things we are now discussing, how we are going to ensure that the investment we make in agri-tech and agro-processing, how we're going to give single mothers here in Region 6 and disadvantaged families, vulnerable families, how we're going to invest in your land so that we can get more production, so that you can have an opportunity to improve and increase your disposable income. Make no mistake. This is the future we're talking about. Building out opportunities at every level, the household level, the community level. And these major infrastructure investments that we are making, these investments are geared towards unlocking new opportunities, creating new areas of wealth, creating new areas of jobs. Which country in the world today can say to the population that any single citizen with 3 subjects CXC, that we're going to take you into a program of nursing, we're going to give you a stipend whilst we train you, and we're going to guarantee you a job when you're finished. And that job that you're guaranteed, the starting salary as I speak to you now is almost $170,000. And with 6 subjects CXC that you need to be a teller at the bank, you cannot get that. It's open. We are searching for persons to join the nursing program. And if you don't have the subjects, we are putting you through remedial training, bringing you up to a level, and then allowing you to participate in the patient care management system training. Which country in the world can you point to that is now investing to have 100% of their teachers trained? And when you become a trained teacher, your salary changes. And not only that, giving you the opportunity to be trained and opening up opportunity for you to be trained graduates under the Gold and University of Guyana program. I am just giving you a few examples that we take for granted. When you were in opposition and I was going around the country, one of the things that people raised was that there was absolutely no access, in some cases, to medication. In this region, the medication availability ratio was less than 40%. In this region, less than 40% of the medical supplies was available when we were in opposition. And whilst we still have some difficulties today, I can say safely that more than 85% of the medical supplies that is required in this region is available. And we have to fix that 15% because we're investing to ensure that you have it. But the future that we're building is one that allows you to be comfortable. Let me give you two examples of this future. Very soon, before the end of this year, and Ashley knows that he's working against a timetable, with your phone, you will be able to make a payment anywhere in this country. You will be able to transfer money because we are now developing a digital payment platform that from you finish working in the fields, the vendor finish at the market, they go home and they want to buy back stocks in Georgetown. You don't have to go with a taxi and buy the stock and put it in the taxi. You then go online, you buy all that you have to buy and get somebody to pick it up and bring it down. That is the future. The future that we are building is linking the clinics to your phone so that when you have to go to the clinic, you don't have to go from 6 in the morning and wait. On the phone, you will have medical consultation that will give you your appointment time so that you can go exactly for your appointment time. That is the future we're investing in. Not one that you have to go to Georgetown to renew your license. You can come into the regional office like an ATM machine. You go to a kiosk, you put your license inside, you make your payment digitally, and you renew your license right here in Region 6. The future we're talking about is where we remove human biases. So for example, the cameras that we'll install on all the roads, the smart cameras, it's not because we want people to get tickets or we want you to pay tickets. Because we want a disciplined society, a society in which we look out for each other, a society in which life matters, a society in which life matters, in which we take responsibility for each other, in which we understand that when we're given a license to drive, it's not a license to kill, it's a license to drive. Because these things are important to us as a people. It is not only the buildings, it's not only the roads, it's about these things that will transform us. And we also have to transform our mindset, the way we think, the way we operate, at every level. Because that is key for us. That is critical for us. When we were campaigning, when we were in opposition, one of the main things that parents came to us and said, that we don't have textbooks anymore for our children in the school system. We went back, and today, in every single school, we've invested in textbooks for our children. We heard a story right in Rosal of children having to pool money to get their chalk, to buy chalk and teaching material to send to the school. And that was whilst they had oil. Today we are giving every single school a grant to take care of those expenses, removing that burden from you. We have been able to reduce the interest rate on housing by almost 4 percentage points in the last 4 years. Where else in the world have you seen this? And my friends, only recently, every single applicant in Region 6 should receive a letter. If you have not received it as yet, this letter will be on its way to you. And what does this letter say? This letter is from the Ministry of Housing. You get one letter? All right, sit down now. So, this letter says very clearly that every single applicant who applied on or before the 31st of December 2024, that you will have an allocation this year. That the infrastructure to give you that allocation is being put in place this year. Because we want to bring the allocation to zero in Region 6. This is the future that we are building. This is what we are talking about. I am not going to remind you of the Because We Care grant. I am not going to remind you about the more than 25,000 persons that are now on the permanent register receiving benefit for disability. And let me say, we have issued an order, especially in this region here. I wanted the people at Human Services to hear. No one who is on that public assistance register can be taken off. You are not taking off a single person from that register. That is the policy of the government. Do not take anyone's name off of that register. Once you are evaluated for support and you are placed on the register, this government will support you. We will add to the register. We will not take off. So we have done that. I'm not going to remind you about the doubling of our old age pension. I'm not going to remind you about the more than 200 taxes that we remove in the first 100 days in government. I'm not going to remind you that it's the APNU, AFC, and their associates who place VAT on electricity and water for you and for the pensioners. We remove it. I'm not going to remind you that it is the PNC, AFC with oil who removed the subsidy for electricity and water for the pensioners. We gave it back. We gave it back. I am not going to remind you about these things. And perhaps people forget, this is the government that made electric vehicles completely free from import duties, excise taxes, and VAT. Completely free. But more importantly, this is the government that reduced the import duty on vehicles 1500 cc from 45% to 35%. This is the government that did it. This is the government that promised 20,000 scholarship and delivered in excess of 30,000 and still counting. This is the government that promised 50,000 jobs, and they doubted us. Today, I can say proudly that if you have an engineering degree and you're not working, it's because you don't want to work, because we are ready to employ you. We have said very clearly, anybody with an engineering degree who wants a job, come now, we'll employ you. We can't get any. We advertise, we can't get. We're looking for nurses. We're looking for medical technicians, construction workers. We have exceeded that. 50,000 house lots. We're going to exceed that. We are results oriented. We deliver. We don't promise. We commit and we deliver to the people of our country. And let me say this. I'm not even going to speak about Region 6 here. Because in every single community we go to, we can point to a story of progress and a future of prosperity. Because we don't govern for some, we govern for all. And I will only give you New Amsterdam. The investment in New Amsterdam alone between 2020 to 2025. And what did they tell you in that campaign? They told you the PPP would starve New Amsterdam. We would neglect New Amsterdam. But today, the Lord has opened the eyes upon the people, and the people have seen the glory, and the glory is shining all over New Amsterdam, and the truth is set free, and as the truth is set free, goodness is delivered unto the people. For service to the people is pleasure to the Lord. Make no mistake, New Amsterdam, in education alone, we spent $1.1 billion. 4,864 students benefited from the Because We Care cash grant, $914 million. The National School Grant, $64.3 million. The construction and maintenance of school facilities, $201. And we're going to ensure that there's a minimum standard for recreational facility, for roof, for school, for every health center across this region and across this country. Human Services, New Amsterdam, $2,306,561. 969 persons trained in gender and development empowerment. Community, 40 persons trained in child care. 5 persons received domestic grant. And all the details are here. And then, of course, the old age pension and the disability grant that come to the people. That is what constitutes this figure. The Ministry of Agriculture, an investment of almost $230 million here in New Amsterdam. The GLDA, NDIA, GRDB, the Ministry of Health, in one project alone, here in New Amsterdam, the New Amsterdam Hospital, for the 33 years that they were in government, all the money we add up to spend on New Amsterdam for the 33 years and multiply it 1,000 times can't come to this one project alone, the new New Amsterdam Hospital. The New Amsterdam Hospital. And it's not only a hospital, it is going to be a world-class hospital. It is going to be a teaching hospital with a medical school and a nursing school. That is what we're investing in. That is the future we're investing here for you and your region. And my friends, I know I'm going on for a long time already, but I want to talk to you a bit about New Amsterdam again. I'm not going far, and New Amsterdam includes the locality that supports the development here. We are not only removing the tolls on the bridge, we are going to build a full 4-lane bridge like the Demerara River Bridge here, a high 4-lane bridge. And let me tell you the excitement about Region 6 already. You'd have seen recently in the news that Munishwar and John Finance, they have formed a consortium. And they're raising the capital for the investment in the forest phase of a port facility here in Berbice. That investment, they want to turn this on in the coming weeks, would be an investment of $285 million US. It will create 1,000 jobs. 1,000 jobs. And right now, we are working with an international company, Bechtel, as we are evaluating and doing the final set of work for the deep water port that will support the next gas development here in Region 6 and here in New Amsterdam. That port will open up tremendous opportunities for transport, logistics, accommodation, real estate, construction. And here is where we're going to bring power on stream to have the AI data center built in Region 6. Unlocking the future for you. The 4-lane road that will go from New Amsterdam all the way to Molson Creek, connecting to the bridge to Suriname. That is the future we are building for you. The new stadium, supported by hotels, entertainment facility, the National Cultural Market, the multi-purpose complexes, and all the other malls and private hospitals that will come here to support the expansion and development that will take place in Region 6 and in New Amsterdam. The gas to shore infrastructure, a world-class industrial and manufacturing hub, an economic zone that will be home to an LNG power plant. And hear this, I just landed in Rose Hall. We'll convert Rose Hall into a municipal airport like you see in Ogle. Like you see in Ogle. This is the future. The new hospital, new nursing school, new medical school, water treatment plants. That is what we're talking about. We don't have time to run around the place like Polcock. We don't have time to pork up like turkey. We are busy planning the future. We are not like the proud peacock lifting our tails all the time. We are the servants working hard every single day to make your life better. There's a concept in theology that speaks to servant leader and servant leadership. You know that concept, Bishop? The greatest in the kingdom of God is those that are servants to all. And that is what One Guyana represents. Service and being servant leaders to all. It does not represent a political entity. It does not represent a political ideology. It represents a political and national commitment to building a one Guyana, oneness in our society. And those that can't even appreciate that, imagine you have your national passport supporting this concept of one Guyana, and that is objectionable to some. These are the intellectual fraudsters that work every single day to destroy our society. Because they like when things are fragmented. You know, some people like Janjat. You know, you got some friends and family who like Janjat. If them not in a he said, she said Janjat, them not happy at all, you know. Them not happy at all, you know. They love a Janjat. When they wake up morning, the first thing they say, hey, they call out, hey girl, you know that? You know what happened? These are the people who thrive on a fragmented society. They love when there is tension. You know, recently we had some tensions in Linden. You can see some of these people burst with excitement. Burst, it's as if they have something happy has arrived at the doorstep. And I wonder, what manner of humans are these? What manner of people can rejoice at the displeasure of other humans? That is one of the greatest sins, to rejoice at the displeasure of others, to rejoice at the hurt and pain of others, and to use that hurt and pain to create more hurt and pain. The good book, and the Lord was right when he said, not all those who say, Lord, Lord, shall enter the kingdom of God. Be careful. Not all those who shout, Lord, Lord, shall enter the kingdom. The kingdom requires hard work. The kingdom requires selfless work. And it requires us to respect and love each other. If we are the image of the Lord, how can you not love the image that God has created? How can we hate each other and still love God when we are created in the image and likeness? Today is Saturday. It's the Sabbath. So my friends, the future is ours. The book says that you must honor those that do good and other leaders that fulfill their promise to you. I ask you to ask your conscience, have we fulfilled our promise to you? Have we delivered on our promise to you? Sons and daughters of New Amsterdam, arise, arise, arise. And when they shout upon the top of the mountain, divide, 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 we must shout from up above the clouds, unite, unite, unite. Let me hear you. Unite, unite. No, 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 no. We ain't doing this right. You must feel it from the last nerve end in your toes to the nerve that supports the follicle of your hair. And if you bald, that supports your bald head. So let's go. I want your fists in the air. And on the count of 3, I want to hear what is our motto. 1, 2, 3. Unite! 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 God bless you. God bless Guyana. God bless this region. And now, my friends, please have your seats.